Hi there, my name is Mark. Welcome to Audio YouTube. Today, the subject is top 10 fragrances for the rainy weather. If that interests you, please stick around. So I went to my collection and I wanted to pick those fragrances that really do shine in rainy weather. That is to say, when the humidity's up and the temperature is kind of like cooler at maybe like 28 degrees. That's practically like spring weather. And so, in a way, this is like selecting the top 10 fragrances for spring. So I chose 5 for the daytime and 5 for the nighttime. And let's start with the daytime fragrances. On the 5th spot for daytime, which is what we're starting with, is Etelib d'Oranges Herman. In short, but the long way to say it is Herman Amicotime Paracetinum. The notes for Herman are geosmin, pepperwood, ambroxan, rose, petalia, and musk. What Herman really smells like to me is like a black rose. It's like a rose that they tried to make dark, and it feels very light. It's very airy, but at the same time dark, which makes it more interesting than some of the roses that are in the market like Moschino, which is actually not very good. Number 4 for daytime rainy weather fragrance is Chopard's Mille Miglia. The notes are kind of like strange because it has an asphalt note. I'm not kidding. So it's asphalt and violet and some grass. And then at the very top, however, it's lavender, bergamot, and juniper berries, which makes it feel fresh. So it's fresh and kind of like sporty. And when you get to the base notes, it's wood, coffee, and amber, which gives it a bit of warmth. This gets compliments. Number 3 is Kenzo's Jungle. Now, Kenzo's Jungle, it's not a love at first sniff for me because at the start, I was kind of like weirded out by the cumin note. Cumin, some say, smells a bit like sweat. The cumin in Kenzo Jungle, it's not as animalic or funky as it is in other fragrances like, say, Diaghilev by Roja. Cinnamon, lime, bergamot, lemon, nutmeg, cardamom, pepper, mate, carnation, and amber for the middle notes, and then cedar, vetiver, guaiac wood, benzoin, and sandalwood for base notes. The dry down is fantastic. Top 2 for daytime. Gucci Guilty Cologne. Gucci Guilty Cologne has top notes of juniper berries, rosemary, Calabrian bergamot, middle notes of cypress, heliotrope, and violet, and then base notes of white musk, patchouli, and cedar. The weird thing about Gucci Guilty Cologne is if you bring your nose to wrist, if you sprayed it on your wrist, the first 2 minutes is like cough syrup. It's very medicinal that way. But after those 2 minutes, if you just smell the sillage, you'd get hit by a really beautiful and quite unique fragrance. Also long-lasting. Like, I get at least 8 hours from this. And my number 1 daytime fragrance for the rainy weather is Parfum de la Bastids Faroush. This is really mainly vetiver, but it's a salty vetiver. It's not like most of the other vetivers. It's not the smoky vetiver of Anka Noir. It's like a marine vetiver, which is really interesting. There's also a bit of floral thing going on, but very light. But when it's raining, like raining really, really hard, I overspray the stuff and it... just beautiful. Let's move on to the nighttime rainy weather fragrances. Number 5 is Diptyque's Eau de Mint. Eau de Mint smells a lot like Drakkar Noir, but the main difference is that this one actually lasts. The recent formulations of Drakkar Noir are terrible in terms of longevity and performance, but this one, yes, their semblance is there, and it's also a notch up in terms of quality. What is it like? Well, like Drakkar Noir, Eau de Mint is a fougere, which means it has a barber shoppy feel, and it shines in high humidity. Number 4, we've got Rasasis Sotur Wow. So Rasasis Sotur Wow is often compared with Costume National's Homme, but the truth is that this one's much better because with Homme, after an hour, it goes to a base that is very generic, very forgettable. Whereas with Sotur Wow by Rasasi, the base is just as interesting as the opening. It has walnut and saffron, and that makes it special, but the main kick that you get out of it is really the spices. Top notes are cardamom, cinnamon, walnut, saffron. Middle notes are balsam and lavender, and the base notes are sandalwood, amber, guaiac wood, cedar, and vetiver. Number 3, and this is really fantastic. I love this. It's Polo Red Extreme. Polo Red Extreme has only 3 published notes, which are blood orange, coffee, and ebony wood. Of course, it also has ginger and what else does it have? Cranberry, sage, and saffron, like Polo Red. However, for this particular bottle, the blood orange was really amped up, and it's so pleasant to wear when it's raining. I tried wearing this in summer because it has a citrusy thing going on anyway, so I tried it in summer and it was horrible. But once it started raining again, I did wear it, and oh my god, it's really meant for rainy weather. Number 2 for nighttime fragrances for the rainy weather is Afnan Supremacy Not Only Intense. Some people say that Supremacy Not Only Intense is a dupe of Aventus, but I beg to disagree. Nope, it doesn't. It is doing its own thing. It does have a fruity top, but it's not particularly pineapple. So it has apple, blackcurrant, bergamot, middle notes of oak moss, patchouli, lavender, with base notes of ambergris, musk, and saffron. It doesn't really smell like Aventus to me, so if you're looking for an Aventus clone, maybe going for Supremacy Not Only Intense isn't the way to go. But if you're looking something that's both fruity and masculine, it's kind of like intense and super sexy, then certainly go get Supremacy Not Only Intense. And now we come to the number 1 spot for nighttime fragrances during the rainy weather. This is what I wear when it's storming outside, when it's getting to be a bit too cold for July, let's say, or August, and it's Amouage Memoir. Amouage Memoir has notes of lavender, rose and incense, basil and mint, and in the base you have sandalwood, amber, vanilla, tobacco, leather, although you won't really smell the leather. Top 5, top 4, top 3, top 2, top 1. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to rank the daytime and the nighttime fragrances. So, here we are. 10th spot is Herman Amicote Me Paracetamol by Etalib d'Orange. Chopard's Mille Miglia, Kenzo's Jungle, Rasasi's Sotur Wow, Diptyque's Eau de Mint, Gucci Guilty Cologne, Polo Red Extreme, Afnan Supremacy Not Only Intense, Parfum de la Bastids Faroush, and number 1 is Amouage Memoir. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do. If you want to let me know what you love to wear during the rainy season or in early spring, please comment. See you next time. I thought about adding some honorable mentions. There are 4 other perfumes here that I did consider including in this list, and they are: one is Emmanuel Ungara's Apparition, has a strong anise. Another one is Swiss Arabian's Shagaf Oud Abyad, Marc Jacobs Bang, and Amen Summer Flash by Mugler. There we go. Stay safe and see you next time.